Torah, Abraham is not the first personality and not the first righteous person. They have a whole major story before Abraham about Noah. And the Torah tells us that Noah was perfectly righteous, tzaddik tamim. So he certainly would have been someone that could be a candidate if God wanted to find the father of a great people. So I think that the Torah helps us to understand why it is Abraham that is chosen and not Noah. And when we understand why one is chosen over the other, we understand also a bit more about the mission. I mean that each of these people went through an experience where God tells them that the world is going to be destroyed. Abraham is told that Sodom and Gomorrah and Adam and Sivoyim, basically the populated parts of the world, are going to be destroyed entirely. And Noah was told the world's going to be destroyed. So Noah basically says, okay, God, you want to destroy the world? You must know what you're doing. You're God. You want me to build a boat and save my family? Okay, I'm happy to do that. And he's very obedient. And when God tells Abraham that the world's going to be destroyed, Abraham is shocked. And Abraham says, what are you doing? He says, you can't kill the righteous people with the wicked people. He says, it's not justice. It's not, he says, you're the God of justice. You have to do justice. And so it's not proper, it's not just to kill the righteous with the wicked. And then if we follow Abraham's argument, he says, what if there are 50 righteous people within those cities? And you would expect him to say, if there are 50 righteous people, so take those righteous people out and then kill everyone else. Because his premise was, it's not fair, it's not proper to kill the righteous with the wicked. So his line of reasoning would have been, so if there are 50 righteous people, take them out, kill everyone else. He says, no, you've got to save the whole city because of them. And then if there aren't 50, 45, 40, 30, 20, down to 10. And the question is, what is Abraham's premise? His premise is that if you have 10 righteous people within those cities, you have to save the entire city. Why? So his language is very precise. He doesn't just say 50 or 10 righteous people in those cities. He says, betoch ha'ir, within the city, meaning that they're not 10 people that are living in a ghetto and they're isolated and they have nothing to do with the rest of the city. They're living amongst the city. And so Abraham's thesis is that if you have such righteous people, you have to save the whole city, because those 10 righteous people can change everyone else. They can impact everyone else. So you see that Abraham's entire vision is that people can change. If they have a model, of righteousness, people can change. Noah basically looked at a world that was decadent, a world that was evil. And Noah looked at a world that was so sunk in evil that he couldn't imagine these people getting any better. Because ultimately, I think the difference is that Noah lost touch with this idea that each person is created in the image of Hashem, in the image of God. Every person has free will, and every person has the ability to change. Noah seems to lose contact with this idea. He sees people that are so depraved that he can't imagine that they would change. Abraham is so connected to the idea that each person is created in the image of God that Abraham realizes every single person can change. And if they have an agent of change, if they have a model of righteousness, then they can change. And therefore, what you see from this story is that Abraham is chosen really to be the progenitor of this great nation, because their whole purpose of existence is to help change the world. That the Bible later tells us that these are people that are going to be a holy nation, a kingdom of priests. Priests are always the teachers. We're told they're going to be a light unto the nations. And so from the very opening words of the Bible, through the story of Abraham, we see that the Jewish people are to be a people who will ultimately be a catalyst that will change the world to the kind of holy and spiritual and positive world that God intended.